Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be profiling Incannex Healthcare Inc. This is a very innovative company. They're using cannabinoid-derived medicines to treat chronic conditions, and we've got a lot to talk about in the video. Before we get into it, take a second, hit the like button, you guys. Big help to myself and the channel, specifically in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not already subscribe to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let me know in the comment section below if you've heard of this company before, your thoughts on this sector as a whole, and outlook into 2025. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be profiling Incannex Healthcare Inc. Trades on the NASDAQ in the United States under the ticker IXHL. A very strong session. This is as of close on Friday, January 24th. Ended the day at $1.75, up 9 cents or about 5.5% on the day. Now they've given up 3 cents in after hours trading. However, Incannex is definitely starting to receive a lot of attention, as we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, because this is the first time we're covering Incannex on the program, I wanted to jump over to their corporate website, incannex.com. I'll leave that linked in the video description below as well, and give you guys a quick about us. Incannex is a science-led combination medicines company leading the way in developing cannabinoid-based medicines and psychedelic-based regimes for people living with challenging chronic conditions. And what's most exciting, in my opinion, about this company is the diversified pipeline that they've got within their portfolio of products. And that's what we're going to be talking about next up in the presentation. Incannex is developing medicines that target underlying biological pathways associated with disease. We are applying this innovative approach to address a range of conditions, including obstructive sleep apnea, rheumatoid arthritis, and generalized anxiety disorder. We're going to look at each one of those drug candidates in a second, with the goal of delivering more effective treatments for patients in need. So at the end of the day, anytime we're covering these type of biotech or healthcare companies, it's great to know that the ultimate product is going to save or help people live a better standard of life. And you can clearly see that through the Incannex mission statement or impact statement. We aim to significantly improve the lives of those suffering with chronic conditions, addressing the gaps left by current treatments. Incannex is on a mission to establish cannabinoid combination-based medicines for clinicians and patients around the globe. Our goal, breaking through barriers to better care. The strategy is to leverage smart drug combinations and purposeful partnerships as the cornerstone of our model to bring cannabinoid-based medicines and psychedelic-based regimens to the forefront of patient care. Now, I just mentioned their pipeline of combination drugs. Incannex is actually the first and only company conducting clinical stages. Incannex is actually the first and only company currently in the world conducting clinical studies of cannabinoid combination medicines, including their IXHL 42X for OSA and their IXHL 675A for inflammation. Again, we'll look at both of these in a second. Incannex also is the only company developing an oral synthetic psilocybin PSX-001 treatment for generalized anxiety disorder, administered in combination with psychological support. So looking at the potential benefits not only of cannabinoid derivatives, but also of psilocybin that we've talked about in prior videos. And with that being said, the company website then goes on to talk about each one of these 3 featured programs, which we're going to drill into in a little bit more detail. Now, IXHL 42X, again, is for obstructive sleep apnea or OSA. And as you can see below, already well along their way in terms of their trials for this platform. Now, if we click on the More button here, you can see a great overview of the platform. Again, this is an oral fixed dose combination therapy. They're currently in a phase 2 clinical trial, and during the trial, they've observed the lowest dose of IXHL 42X actually being the most effective and reducing AHI by an average of 51% relative to the baseline, where 25% of patients experienced a reduction in AHI of greater than 80%. And a quick definition, if you're not familiar, apnea-hypopnea index, or AHI, is one of the key measurements used to assess the severity of OSA by quantifying the number of apneas, or complete stoppages of breathing, and hypopneas, partial blockages of breathing that occur per hour of sleep. Now, currently they're conducting this phase 2-3 efficacy and safety trial known as REPOSA to evaluate the effect of this IXHL 42X in individuals with OSA who are either non-compliant, intolerant, or naive to positive airway pressure devices, including things like a CPAP. Now, they then go on to give you details about the platform itself, and most importantly, the market details here, which estimates the global market for sleep apnea devices to be valued at $8.2 billion as of last year, and they expect that to grow to upwards of $20.4 billion by 2033. So obviously a huge TAM, or total addressable market, for Incannex. Now this is where the story gets really exciting. Just last week on the 23rd of January, Incannex Healthcare announced a positive top-line result from their pharmacokinetics or PK study of this IXHL 42X, an oral combination medicine for the treatment of obstructive sleep apnea, which we just looked at. And this really demonstrated the bioavailability of the IXHL 42X, Incannex's proprietary combination formula, confirming delivery of both dronabinol and acetazolamide, further affirming the company's thoughts or plans for this platform. So this was obviously a great step in the right direction, another catalyst for the company, with Mark Bleakley, Incannex's chief scientific officer, going on to say the top-line IXHL 42X PK findings we are reporting today provide data necessary to support a 505(b)(2) application in accordance with the FDA guidance, assuming continued positive results from your phase 2 and 3 clinical trials. The trial results are consistent with our expectations and the objectives for IXHL 42X, a novel oral fixed-dose combination therapeutic. So again, progressing along as expected here and continuing to make progress towards the treatment of obstructive sleep apnea. Now, earlier in the presentation, I mentioned that diversified pipeline. This is their second program focused on rheumatoid arthritis, IXHL 675A. Once again, this is an oral fixed-dose combination therapy harnessing synthetic cannabidiol and hydroxychloroquine sulphate, which is currently in phase 2 development for the treatment of RA. And it's really the combination of these components that's giving Incannex such great success. You can see in this situation, CBD interacts directly with the endocannabinoid system to reduce inflammation, while also showing it has the potential to inhibit the production of key inflammatory mediators, including prostaglandins and cytokines. And when combined, CBD alongside HCQ appear to work synergistically to reduce inflammation associated with rheumatoid arthritis and a potentially enhanced therapeutic effect by targeting both the immune and inflammatory pathways. And again, you can see an update on their drug development pipeline with phase 2 initiated dosing starting in January of 2024, targeting 128 patients through a double-blind safety and efficacy study. Now, the final component here is the psilocybin piece of the puzzle. This is for generalized anxiety disorder with the program entitled PSX001. This is an orally synthetic psilocybin currently studied in combination with psychological support as a treatment for adults with generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD. Once again, phase 2 clinical trials with 44% of the patients taking PSX001 showing clinically meaningful improvement, or at least a 50% reduction in anxiety scores from their baseline. Now, Incannex anticipates reporting full clinical results from phase 2 proof of concept study in the first half of this year. And this is another one that has a huge market potential, with roughly 6.8 million people in the United States alone living with GAD. Now, the final component I wanted to talk about here is the leadership team behind Incannex. You can see Joel Latham is the president and CEO of the company, and he actually brings over 20 years of senior management and operations experience in both public and private companies, with his most recent position in the company as CEO and managing director of Incannex Australia. And beside Joel, you can see an excellent group of industry professionals with a ton of experience and connections in the space. So for those reasons, you guys, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts on Incannex Healthcare, their innovative treatments and pipeline or portfolio, and if you're currently holding shares of this company. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button, you guys. Big help to myself and the channel. And if you're not currently subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join the community. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.